I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It would be my honor if you join me in prayer. Supreme Architect of the universe, we invoke thy blessing at this time. May this meeting thus begun in peace and closed in harmony. Amen.
Modo be.
Commissioners,
Hi, sir. How are you?
excellent and wonderful. Welcome to our Thursday, September 27th, public business meeting. Gentlemen, are there any additions or deletions to our agenda?
No, sir.
I'd like to entertain a motion to accept the minutes of our September 20th, 2012 public business meeting.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved by Commissioner Brody, seconded by Commissioner Valentine. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All righty. Well, I see that the sheriff is here. And
Oh, man.
we as county commissioners are honorable men. And
He cheated.
there happened to have been a train pull for charities here a couple weeks ago.
And he cheated.
And gentlemen, we lost. Now, really, I think there was 11 teams, and it really was only one other team that we were supposed to beat, and that happened to be the sheriff's department, and we failed. So we need to do some form of, Mr. Administrator, I know that you're a health craze guy, but somehow we need to beef up the county employees.
No, Mike, you don't need any more beefing up.
We need like all 300-pound employees. I know that goes against our insurance and from the healthiness of that, but this cup is very important next year that we've got to win. That as much as I appreciated the beauty queens jumping on and trying to help the county win, they didn't necessarily help us. And
Their high heels just wouldn't dig into those bricks.
it
there
would.
to
So it is with sadness, but also congratulations. And I'm just so excited for the Sheriff's Department that to announce that the county, led by the county commissioners, gentlemen, we have lost the cup. And we have to present the Commissioner's Cup to the sheriff. And hopefully you'll join me with this presentation.
That is an actual picture of the sheriff sitting in the cup.
So, Sheriff, if you would meet us at the table, we'd like to come down and present you with this cup.
He still cheated.
Look at the grin on the cat coming up here.
Sheriff, congratulations. Your team was better than ours. And we are just excited to have the opportunity to compete with this next year with you. And instead of getting it all spit shine for you, there you are, sir. Congratulations,
I
sir.
appreciate that. Out of, all fun aside, it's a great event. We joke up, but we have a good time. It's great to be there. You get to see the Special Olympic kids. They just love it. They enjoy it. In fact, there was one boy from the Westernport area, one of the special needs kids. He actually walked door to door to the he actually walked door to door in Westernport and raised $500 himself just to have his own team there. Wow! And it was amazing. I mean, it was really impressive. We had 11 teams, and we did raise some money for the special needs kids. So it's a good thing. And
Sheriff, honestly, how many teams did you pull from that day? Because I know
probably about Probably about 4 or 5.
And we all did the same, so, and the serious side of it, it is a very good event. And next year we'll learn how to cheat.
We'll put this in a permanent position, because it's going to stay there, or never come back to the county.
good for it.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sheriff. To piggyback on the sheriff's comments, a big thank you goes out to the Charities Train Pool Committee that meets year-round for that, and then also for the individual groups that actually come out and make it a success. I invite everyone next year to be part of the county team and help us bring back the cup again. So. Thank you again, Jack and Miss Mary. You came out in droves. The problem was that there just wasn't like 10 or 15 of you. So anyhow, thank you for the roads department. They were well represented. So, okay. Item number 1 under presentation, voter registration deadline, early voting and election day. Miss Diane, please.
Commissioners, I don't think I can compete with that presentation, but I'll try. We're just going to talk about election deadlines. Anyone who wishes to get registered before the general election or make an address change to their registration must do so by October 16th at 9 p.m. Our offices will be opened until 9. Anybody can stop in, make that change. They can also submit a change online. Anyone who needs to pick up an application can do so at our local office, at any post office, any library, the MVA, any office that administered aid, or they can also do it online. They need to do so before 9 p.m. on the 16th, and they can go to www.elections.state.md.us. Anybody who would like to receive an absentee ballot by mail needs to have a signed application in our office by October 30th at 8 p.m. or by fax or email at 11:59. Okay. Beginning on October 31st, anybody who needs to get an absentee ballot must do so in person. Okay. Early voting centers will be open for voting beginning on Saturday, October 27th, running through November the 1st. Hours of operation are from 10 a.m. until 8 p.m., with the exception of Sunday. Sunday hours will be from 12 to 6. Once again, our early voting location here in Allegany County will be here at the office complex in room 212. For those voters who prefer to vote on Election Day is Tuesday, November the 6th. Polls open from 7 a.m. until 8 p.m. And any voter who wishes to try to avoid delays, we ask that they show up between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m.
Okay. Thank you. As a side note for voters and that kind of stuff, I've seen out in the county a humongous sign encouraging people to vote, and I understand there is a drive for leaflets to just have you considered voting, and you'll start seeing those notes go up, and it's important that everybody exercise their most, I believe, fundamental right is to vote for the candidate of their choice. I think it's sad that we as an American society have as low a turnout as we have, so I challenge Allegany County citizens to get out and vote, bring your friend. Well, you don't have to like somebody, you can bring them too. They need to vote too. So, but thank you very much for your department.
Oh, not a problem. And one last thing, I know there's a lot of questions on the ballot, and we've had a lot of phone calls. The non-technical summaries that the Department of Legislative Services have provided is posted on the bulletin board right outside of our office. They are also posted on the website.
Oh, wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you, Diane. Okay, gentlemen, moving into the action agenda part of our agenda today. Item number 2, Merkel Response Services Incorporated Lease Addendum number 1. Mr. Matt Diaz, our Director of Economic and Community Development, is here to share some good news.
Yes, good evening. Thank you, Commissioners. Just briefly, back in January 1, I believe, January 2 of 2012, we executed a lease agreement with Merkel Response Services to lease 32,000 square feet in Building 27 of the Riverside Industrial Park. That's a portion of the very large building all the way in the back. The company since came up, they've done their due diligence and realized they need another 10,565 square feet to accommodate their disaster recovery site to support their Hagerstown and Columbia offices. So the lease addendum you have in front of you is to execute the company leasing that additional space, and I ask for your approval.
Okay. Gentlemen, any questions for Matt?
Great news, Matt.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the lease addendum number 1 with Merkel Response Services. Is there a motion?
So move.
Is there a second?
Second?
It has been moved by Commissioner Valentine, seconded by Commissioner Brody. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good news. Okay, gentlemen, item number 3, which is Resolution 12-24, the Mount Savage Meters Lane Loan Resolution. Mr. Bennett.
Good evening.
Evening, sir.
Resolution in front of you tonight would be to authorize us to go ahead and proceed with closing on Mount Savage and Meters Lane water projects. It would be an $825,000 loan combined for the two projects through MDE. It's part of their loan forgiveness program, so we end up actually only incurring a loan on 12.5% of that amount, so it works out to $103,000. Very good deal, and even at what we're borrowing, it's 0.8% over 30 years. So very favorable deal on these two very useful, needed projects, and we're simply seeking your approval tonight.
Gentlemen, is there a motion for the approval of Resolution 12-24?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
It has been moved by Commissioner Brody, seconded by Commissioner Valentine. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Okay, item number 4, Commissioners, is the Mount Savage Water Distribution Contract number W-26. Mr. Yoder is here to explain.
Hello, Commissioners.
Hello, sir.
I'm here tonight for the Mount Savage. It's called the Mount Savage Water Distribution Contract that was bid, but it also includes some sewer work. There's a good bit of sewer work in the same contract. The low bidder was Carl Belt of Cumberland at approximately $5.78 million. This project is being funded with a combination of loans and grants from USDA, MDE, and also block grant money. It's part of an overall package for this project that includes Mount Savage Water and other Jennings Run sewer improvements, about $12 million worth of work, of which the grant total has been approximately $7 million. So we're pretty happy with that ratio in these times. All the design work was done in-house, and we would expect to be able to award after pending your approval and approval by the funding agencies, probably in about a month and a half.
Month and a half, okay. All right. Commissioners, any questions?
Very good, Mark. I know the people of Mount Savage are looking forward to this, so let's get with it.
All right, sir, we'll cut to the chase. I'd like to entertain a motion to award this project to the apparent low bidder, Carl Belt Incorporated.
So move.
Is there a second?
Second?
It has been moved by Commissioner Valentine, seconded by Commissioner Brody. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you very much, sir. Mr. Eberly, what do we have on our consent agenda today, sir?
Commissioners, this evening we have 3 items on your consent agenda. These are routine grants that the county processes and receives annually. One is to support the Sheriff's Department, and the other 2 grants are to support the Department of Emergency Services.
Okay. Commissioners, any questions? Entertain a motion to accept our consent agenda.
So moved, sir.
Is there a second?
Second?
It has been moved by Commissioner Brody, seconded by Commissioner Valentine. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Mr. Eberly.
Commissioners, as a follow-up to our meeting last week, our public work session, where we heard from Angie Patterson, the county's land use planning engineer, with regard to one of the byproducts of Senate Bill 236, which is the actual septic bill for the state. Commissioners, we have prepared for your signature a letter along with a policy document of county opposition to the state's proposed offset policy for nutrient management. I'd like to read, if you'll indulge me for just a moment, some of the concluding remarks with respect to the approach the state is using. The county is simply asking for an exemption based upon the fact that we are a static growth county with very little opportunity for development in the future. We do not believe it's necessary to regulate growth where growth regulation is not warranted. Alleghany County is 75% forested, and remaining developable land is a nominal 2.5% of our land mass. Our population has declined over the past 60 years and is projected by the Maryland Department of Planning to basically remain static for the next 30 years. Commissioners, we have addressed this letter to Mr. Paul Emart. Mr. Emart is a implementation analyst with the Maryland Department of the Environment, and apparently he lost the draw on straws with respect to who was going to be coordinating the responses from local jurisdictions. And we prepared this letter dated today for your signature.
Okay. Commissioners?
Absolutely.
Sounds good. We can't handle their programs that they want to force on us.
Okay. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Thank you, Dave.
Thank you, gentlemen. Commissioners, I have
Yes, yes,
one
Mr.
more
Everly.
item, please.
Yes.
If you could just indulge me for 20 seconds.
Mr. Rudd would like to give the balance of his time to Mr. Eberly for another announcement.
Commissioners, we have at the bottom of your agenda advertised a public business meeting for next Thursday, the 4th of October. We have a very light meeting agenda for that evening, so we'll evaluate staff reports through the midday tomorrow, early into Monday, but there's a good chance we'll be recommending that we cancel next week's public business meeting due to a lack of agenda items.
Okay. Okay.
That's all I have.
All
Sorry,
right.
Mr. Rudd.
Thank you very much, Thank you very much, Mr. Rudd. It's
He
very-
does look nice tonight.
Doesn't he look nice?
Yes.
He does look nice. That's good.
No wig.
No wig, exactly. Commissioner Valentine,
Yes, sir.
any statements?
As you know, I sit on the Governor's Study Commission on Marcellus Shale. When this all started, they promised us that those meetings would all be held in Allegany and Garrett County. To this point, we've had 2 meetings in Hagerstown, 2 in Annapolis, and the rest have been in Garrett County. Tomorrow morning, Allegany County will get their first meeting in this process. It'll be held at ACM, beginning at 9:30 tomorrow morning in the Continuing Education Building. Anybody interested in this issue, I think you should come, listen to the presentations. There's a website where you can go and look at the work that's been done to this point. We'll have a couple guest speakers there tomorrow, so anybody interested, especially the news agencies, come on out. Thank you.
Commissioner Brody?
I will just do a brief rundown of the calendar this week. It's been a week of a lot of house cleaning issues right here at home. So We'll start off with Friday, September 21st, a homeless rescue day. Monday, the 24th, Greater Cumberland Committee panel discussion. Penmar Recycling open house and Western Correctional Institution puppy program. Tuesday, the 25th, U.S. Department of Agricultural Bond Council document signing. A webinar on how to hire better. Health Department Healthy Initiative meeting and Board of Education work session. Wednesday, the 26th, Cumberland Safe Streets Coalition meeting, Maryland Rural Counties Coalition meeting with Reagan Cherney, Executive Assistant, Board of County Commissioners in Frederick County, Chamber of Commerce Legislative Committee meeting. And today, the 27th, Maryland Association of Counties meeting with Michael Sanderson and Ingrid Turner, the President of MACO and Prince George's Council member. And of course, tonight, our public business meeting and a commissioner's chat interview later. But I'd like to thank President Turner and Executive Director Sanderson for coming up and visiting with us today. It was most informative. And we appreciate them making the long journey up here. So,
Great. As a update for the Rural Counties Coalition, on October the 8th, the coalition will be having a organizational meeting. At that point, there will be basically a bylaws that is presented, which will be looking for approval for the organization. There will be an election of a chairman of the Rural Counties Coalition. There will also be conversation about retaining a consultant for this year's coalition. But more especially, there will be a presentation by Funk and Bolton regarding the WIP and RGGI and other planning matters. This will be presented by Dorchester County. I have a meeting, commissioners, on the 2nd of October, with Wycomico County. They're interested in joining the coalition. And then on the 9th, the day after this meeting, I have a meeting with Caroline County. And if that happens, and those decide to join, we will be up to 10 counties for the Rural County Coalition. And at the next meeting, I'll be reporting back to you who's been elected chairman, and the bylaws and that kind of stuff will then be available to anybody who would like to see what the bylaws exists, and of course will be then afforded to the media for their perusal. So the Rural County Coalition is moving forward, gentlemen, and getting ready for this year's session, and more information is coming out.
very good, sir.
So looks like we don't have anybody who signed up tonight under constituents. I'd like to remind everybody that our next public business meeting is probably going to be October the 11th. It looks like we are going to cancel that October 4th meeting because of the light agenda. Also have another announcement that the Allegany County Animal Control Advisory Board meeting will be October 2nd, 2012 at 6 o'clock, and that will be at 11400 PPG Road. Thank you very much for participating in your government. We love hearing from you, good, bad, the ugly, suggestions. So please contact your commissioners with your concerns, your good ideas, and thank you for participating in your government.
I still only want that.